Okay, so first of all, let me thank, may I offer my pranams to the His Holiness of the Edathurai Shankar Bharati for arranging this wonderful session on Daksināmurty Stotram. And I am also thankful to Dr. Subramania, who has been kind enough to invite me here, and Ashwini to come and pick me and all that. It's always my pleasure to, I have made several visits to IIT College on different contexts. In today's context seems to be a slightly different context, but at a very important context. I am very happy to be with you today to talk about this, because if you teach 30 faculty, it's like teaching 30,000 students. So that way, without any hesitation, when I was asked with very little window of time, I somehow said yes, although I was a little busy doing something, because nothing like meeting a set of faculty and you can carry it too far and wide. I am also very happy that you chose to include this in your 3-day session, because what I am going to do today is completely missing in this country for the last 200 years. So these occasions are great occasions to reflect and come back. Today people think, the moment you say Stotram and Daksināmurty Stotram, they think it is religious. Of course it is religious, but don't undermine our rishis and our acharyas. They are extraordinarily brilliant people, and they have thought about some very, very important things. So I am going to use Daksināmurty Stotram today and deliver a talk like a B school professor. That's what I am. After all 35 years I have taught in a business school. Only to tell you that these ideas are so widely appealing, and we are just missing this great repository of knowledge. So therefore I am very happy to be here with you. So let me just start with a very beautiful Dhyana shloka. There are many, but I took one of them which is very beautiful. Chitram Bharatatur Mule Vriddha Sishya Guroriva Gurorastu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshaya. It's a very beautiful paradoxical situation. The Guru is a very young person, the Sishyas are all very old. That's what it says. Okay? He says, Vriddhaha Sishyaha, Guruhu Yuva. Guru is a Yuva. The Sishyas are all Vriddhas. That's the first paradox here. Second paradox you see is the Guru is not talking anything and the Sishyas have understood everything. Chinna Samshaya, all their Samshayas are broken, destroyed. I wish if that is like that, we will also happily go to your classrooms now. I wish there is a possibility like that. Anyway, so that is a Dhyana shloka. I thought I will just start with that. Okay. So let me tell you, I will position Daksināmurty Stotram first. Then I will get into the Daksināmurty Stotram. Because this kind of orientation is extremely important. That's why my Bhagavad Gita course is a very big hit in IIM Bangalore. 1,000 points they bid. 1,000 points is all there available for bidding. Half a dozen students bid 1,000 points. They say, sir, we cannot afford to miss this. So whatever course I get in other branches of finance and marketing is fine. That kind of students come. Because our scriptures are like that. We have been completely misled with wrong ideas and all that. So let me put it in a context. You know, today we live in a very interesting world of dualities. You know, income levels are good, going up, we have material progress, accelerating at a great pace. Our salaries have also gone up. I started with 1,700 rupees salary actually as a lecturer in IIT Delhi in 1990 or 89 sometime. Things have changed for us also anyway, right? So more selling, more malls, more cars, more education, more educational standards. Wisdom part is a question mark. Wisdom is different from knowledge. More knowledge, but I don't know about the wisdom. That's individuals, take on matters and so on. Anyway, so on the whole, looks like things are looking interesting. Things are pretty good. But there is also another side to it, and that is youngsters are getting older faster. India is the diabetic and hypertension capital of the world, especially for the people in the age group of 20 to 30. So this is a development we have made. We have to beat our chest for this development. And I don't know whether be happy or unhappy, that I leave as an exercise. But people from the age of 20 to 30 contract either hypertension or diabetes or both. This is the other side of the story. And many more. It will become very gloomy. I am not going to tell you. I only put a mere list here. The list can be much longer. So what I am trying to tell is there is an interesting world of duality in which we seem to be living today. Okay, that's what Schopenhauer, who is a German philosopher, he wrote a book in 1812 in German, which was later translated in 1852 into English as The World as Will and Representation. That's the English translation, in which there is a sentence which I remember. When men achieve security and welfare, now that they have solved all other problems, they become a problem themselves. That's the problem we are facing today. If you go to US, nobody can talk to anybody else. You either need a pussy cat or a dog. You can't talk to anyone. This is how society is going. And hell with these ideas, and we are very fast copying, closing our eyes mindlessly. Western society is broke. That's a milder word I am using. They may have a lot of money which they looted from the other eastern part of this globe. That's a different story. Completely broke. That's what he is talking about. And Shankaracharya talked about this in his first sentence in Bhagavad Gita. He wrote what is called Upodgata, preamble. He's talked about exactly this 1400 years back. Is Duvido Vedokto Dharmaha Pravritti Lakshano Nivritti Lakshanascha Jagataha Sthiti Karanam Sakshat Praninam Abhyude Nishreyase Hetu. There's a very beautiful preamble he gave in which he said the same thing. There's something called Pravritti, something called Nivritti. You have to balance both, otherwise you will go nowhere in life. Shankaracharya told. He said, why am I writing a commentary for Bhagavad Gita? He says this. That's what he is saying in a different way here. So there are two ways. One is to ignore all these warning. Simply, look the other way, dismiss all these. Oh, these are all fine. Let's face it when it comes. Why are we bothered about it now? Let's not look at it now. When it comes, chalta hai, hum usi time mein hum dekhenge. That is one approach, which a lot of people have taken it because it seems to be easy. Nothing is in front of you. When it comes to it, let us see. A much better approach is actually to pause and reflect. Because the warning signs are there, so why don't we just step back and see and inquire into the larger notion of happiness, right? Search for the true meaning, contemplate and reinvent oneself, etc. All those possibilities. If people want to take this route, we have phenomenal corpus with us. Daksināmurty Stotram is just one. Because this is exactly the interest of our rishis. They were not interested in Saivism, Vaishnavism and all. And these are all, in between all these will be always there in society. Rishis and great acharyas were never interested in all. They were interested on the right side. They wanted to go after the notion of happiness. They want to know what is this happiness, how do you get it. So it's a Agmar quality psychology. Indian psychology is probably the best psychology. Whereas in IIM Bangalore also we teach Western psychology. Sigmund Freud, how did he define psychology? Sex, violence and dead body. These are the three samples with which he developed a piece of body of knowledge called psychology. And they were so concerned about it. For the last 30 years, 20 years, there is a new branch of psychology called positive psychology. Because all these are negative here. Sex, violence and dead body, what is there? With that they developed what is called psychology and we are all teaching it, Jabardast. Giving up all, whereas Shankaracharya today I will show you Daksināmurty Stotram is a top-notch psychological masterpiece for me. I have lectured about 15 hours from 6 years back in my weekly satsang. Great depth I have lectured. It's a masterpiece of psychology. I will touch the tip of the iceberg. So, I've been telling students that you are facing so many issues, right? I keep telling students, I am distracted. People tell me, sir, I am distracted. Not able to concentrate. Very common problem. Students are not able to concentrate today. They get very distracted. So how is it possible to put the best foot forward? This is a very serious question which we need to address on behalf of the students. We can't just leave it. We may teach electronics, all that. At the end of the day, that is not what it is. If you are not answering some of these, finished. I know my classmates who are in the top 10 ranks of JEE who are nowhere. I don't want to name any of them. What I am trying to tell you is all that is fine. Life is a very long journey and we need inputs for life. Inputs for living is okay. We need inputs for life. That is what these stotrams are all about actually. Okay? I get tossed by emotions. How is it possible to have peace of mind and happiness? Very emotional. Today, I have seen even elders, they take one photo, put it in some Facebook or something and start counting how many people have put up this. If nobody has put like this, finish, your day is gone. I mean, this is the biggest foolish thing. My happiness is going to be decided by how many thumbs are going to come to some unknown places here. What nonsense is this? Where are we heading? I don't know. Where are we heading? It's a very serious issue actually. And I tell some of my colleagues in IIM Bangalore, throw that watch here, 5,500 steps, by 6 o'clock they get tens, only 3,000 you can walk here. There is a joy of walking. Please walk. There is a joy of walking. Why are you looking at this nonsense? I said, remove this watch. I removed watch 15 years back. I don't use a watch because time is running here. My sense of time is only 6 minutes plus or minus. I don't need a watch. I can tell the time. That's how I have trained myself. I don't need any of these gadgets. Anyway, mobile also has watches, the timing and all that. Anyway, I am not feeling good. If you are not feeling good, how are you going to feel confident? None of our youngsters are telling all these. These are real issues. As teachers, we have to really worry about all those. We should have that compassion. Teaching subject is all fine. In fact, on the day of September 5, I wrote a long article and sent to my teacher in College of Engineering Gindi, because of whom I am the teacher. I said, sir, these are the 7 definitions for a guru and I am sending it to you. He loved it. I said, Upadhyaya, Adhyapaka, Mahamahopadhyaya, Deshikottama, Acharya, Guru. I explained all that and I said, this is my understanding of Guru. We have to find out where to position ourselves in these 7 ladders, steps of the ladder. It's not just teaching them subjects and all that. How are we going to help them? This is a serious issue they are going through. I keep looking at what others are doing. This is a problem. I mean, they find it difficult. He is doing well, he has done, finally I am lost. And my performance can only get even worse by doing all that. So how am I going to address this? Right? How is it possible to be myself? This is a question we need to put back on them and make them reflect a little bit. I want to be a great professional. How do I get superior knowledge and skills? Right? Is it just the lessons or is there something more? I keep emphasizing it very much when I teach in IIM Bangalore. I emphasize it very strongly. I said it's not what you learn. It's not the grades that you get. There is something more that you need in life to be a great professional. I keep saying that. So we need to get those messages. So I keep telling that how do I best foot forward? How do I have peace of mind and happiness? The question that we need to answer, which our acharyas have answered, is do you know how to turn your attention inside? This is the biggest problem all of us have. Imagine we put a 5-bedroom beautiful house, very beautiful house, and then after building the house, we stepped out and stood at the edge of the compound wall in the portico and spent our entire lifetime seeing who is going here, who is going there. Imagine the situation. That's what we are doing. We are not turning attention inside. We are turning attention outside. It's like we have some beautiful things inside. You have built everything, you have kept it and then use watch, this, that, thumbs up, etc., etc. You just step out. We don't know how to turn our attention inside. I would like my students to know. In my Bhagavad Gita course, I push this very hard on them. They get very reflective. Nobody has complained you are teaching some hardcore religion. On the other hand, they have been very grateful to me. Sir, you have opened our eyes. I said, I didn't open the eyes. Bhagavad Gita opened the eyes. I was only in between Bhagavad Gita and you. Texts are so great. Do you know who you are? Most of us don't know. Try, you don't know. I ask in my class. I teach them what is called Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. Before that, I start with this. They say, my name is so and so, I said, all that is not you. Sorry. In that 15-20 minutes, they figure out there is something more. So we need to know. If you want inner strength and being myself, there is a world inside, as much as a world outside. Do you know that exists? Do you know how to even find it? People who have found it go far away in their life. They really go places. Nothing can stop them. So we need to tell that to the students that there is something more here. Of course, subjects, marks, grades, all those are important, but there is something more you need in your life when you go on. Good knowledge and skills, I say also, sab theek hai. As a professor, I'll say all those are good, but that's not enough. Do you have divine blessings? I ask them. You know, in this country, many of you may or may not know, whatever we do, we say Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You know why we say 3 times? There is a profound idea behind it. All our disturbances fall under 3 categories. Adhyatmikam, Adi Bautikam and Adi Daivikam. Adhyatmikam, I will take an example. I keep giving this example. I prepared for CAT, JEE. Solid work. I am all set. Today is the exam. Morning I get up 102 fever. Loose motion, headache. What will you do here? Nobody is going to conduct an exam for you tomorrow. Good luck. Come next year. That's called Adhyatmikam. Disturbances can come from within. This system can throw up. We don't know why. Doctors also don't know why. They generally give medicines. Experienced doctors say that. We don't cure. We only treat. Cure is coming from somewhere. Curing is different from treating. Experienced doctors privately they say. It's called Adhyatmika. Or we'll take the same example. No, I am all fine. Right? Now what happens is there is a cloud burst. Cut. My locality is cut off. Heavy rain, 1 hour. Bangalore nowadays, better buy a boat here, don't buy a car. Better buy a boat, particularly if you are in East Bangalore. Pura 3 mahine ke boat service hi karna hai. So if there is a cloud burst, what exam are you going to write? Nothing. It's not possible. It's called Adi Daivikam. There are some larger divine forces. Earthquake. Something happens in the morning. Whole city comes to a grinding halt. I have not heard of a competitive exam done only for a particular city because something happened. No. Good luck. Next year. It's called Adi Daivikam. Then there is Adi Bhauktikam. See, I was a vice chancellor. I can tell within these 4 walls. I was a vice chancellor in Kerala. Very difficult to be a vice chancellor there. The reason is there is a state bandh, there is a district bandh, there is a city bandh, and there is a ward bandh. I don't know when my students will come to the class. A real challenge. It's called Adi Bhautikam. The other bhutas, the other people can create any kind of a mess. Your life is like that. So it is not all about reading, eating and all that. They are all necessary condition but not sufficient condition. We need divine blessings also to succeed. I want my youngsters know that. Don't simplify life and then get into trouble. Life is not as simple as you think. Life has its own attendant challenges. So therefore, that's the third thing. Anyway, so to do all that, we need somebody to show the hand. That's a guru. Guru is one who Guru can be anything. My favorite example is there was a son and a father fighting with one another in Kolkata. Because the son was reading some book on Vedanta at the age of 19, the father did not like it. They had some conversation and all that. The fist of the argument, we pulled the book and threw it out of the window. A heavy book, 300, 400 pages. One person was walking on the road, it fell on his head. That was his guru. He later on became he picked up that book. We don't know how guru comes. Guru comes in the form of a child. Guru comes in the form of an animal. So Guru Tattva, Guru is a Tattva. Guru is not necessarily a Vyakti. Vyakti is a way to understand. But we need somebody to guide our life. So this Daksināmurty Stotram is about that. It talks about Guru Tattva, that we all need some, visible, invisible, helping hand, something to guide. We can't go nowhere, I am telling you. I don't think I am very pessimistic, I am very realistic. With all my best efforts, it's always good to have a guru, and that guru has a certain characteristic, which is what is found in Daksināmurty Stotram. It's a very beautiful psychological piece, so to speak. Anyway, so Daksināmurty is Lord Shiva, south facing. That's why Dakshin is also south, right? So Daksināmurty is a south facing in Kailasha in order to instruct the seers and sages. That is the Puranic dimension to Daksināmurty. Dakshina also means buddhi. Daksha is, Daksha is called, Dakshyam is called executional excellence. When Hanuman crossed, first Sarga of Sundarakanda, when Hanuman crosses the sea and goes there, immediately Valmiki says, Dhriti, Mati and Dakshyam, without that people can't reach it. Valmiki says, executional excellence, you have executional excellence, otherwise you will not have come here. Daksha also means that. That's why he's called Daksha. He is also called Daksha, who has executional excellence. Okay? Daksināmurty, culturally for us, is an Adi Guru. So this is the other understanding of Daksināmurty specifically as a larger principle of a Guru. So this Daksināmurty Stotram, which was written by Shankaracharya, in my opinion, is a magnum opus. The Murti is very small, but the Kirti is very big. That's just 10 shlokas. But then it's pretty beautiful actually, very deep. Psychological ideas are buried in it and which can put people in a reflective mode actually. 10 verses, and what is he doing in the 10 verses? He is answering, he is asking these questions. Who am I? What is my life journey? And these are very important questions for everyone. I wish our students know it, the sooner better. They will become a lot more nuanced in their life. Otherwise, what is happening today, you all must be knowing it. There are only two things happening. When the success in excess, they drink too much and land in the hospital. Because if it is an utter failure, they anyway land in the hospital, department is different, psychological counseling. That's the only difference. This is not life. That means we have not even got a sense of what is life. We need to understand that life has its own attendant challenges. It is a very complex game, and so we need to be very nuanced in way of handling life. Those are the issues discussed. It's a very reflective piece. That's what Daksināmurty Stotram is. It is a handbook for individual psychology, if you ask me. It's a very beautiful handbook for individual psychology. If people read it diligently, understand it and recite it, they become very reflective in life. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the 10 because it will take a lot of time. So I'm going to pick a few, but then I want to show you what is contained there. So I want to start with this. So I would like to ask you, who is the creator? Suppose if I were to ask you, who is the creator? Yeah, Brahma. Right? Quite often in our tradition. So in a Judaic tradition, they may say something which is all fine. We say in Sanatana Dharmic tradition, we say Brahma. Whereas in this Stotram, it has taken a completely different view. It has actually opened up our thinking. Okay? Now, to understand that, let us look at the dreaming process. We all dream, if not daily, almost every now and then. Some people do daydreaming also. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the night dreaming now. Okay. Anyway, so look at this. In fact, our rishis have deeply analyzed dreaming because some profound psychological ideas are buried there. So let me talk about a dream. Let's say I am watching in the Lord's Test match. Recently there was this ICC Champions Trophy, India and England played. Let's say I was watching that in my dream. Everything is dream. So I am watching in my dream that this test match in the Lord's test ground in the UK, and Shubham Gill is 97. Whether he is going to hit a century, I do not know. I am very seriously watching along with my friends and so on. And as I was watching this dream, there is a ferocious dog which is chasing me. In dreams, a lot of such unrelated things happen. So don't use too much logic. Okay. So then this dog is a ferocious dog which is chasing me, and I'm running. This dog has almost come near me. I get out of my dream now. Is it not? And there is sweat in my forehead. This is a common experience, no? Right? Now tell me, is the dream real or not real? Not real. Why did I get sweat on my forehead then? Because there was a dog chasing me, no? Normally you don't get, when you are sleeping, how will you get sweat in your forehead? In fact, if you are dreaming that somebody is taking your money, your palpitation will go up. And we have had this experience. They are opening your bureau or something, you get up and then start shouting, thief, thief, hey, sleep here. But then if you check his BP, it will be some 160/100. I am not exaggerating. So therefore, now the question is whether dream is real or not. This is a question now. If it is unreal, I cannot get sweat. I cannot get palpitation. We know it is unreal anyway. So we are in trouble now. We don't know how to analyze this problem. Right? This is what Acharya has analyzed very beautifully. What happens is, we are the biggest creators in the world. Not Brahman and all will pale in front of us. Think about me. In 15 minutes, I built a stadium called ICC Champions Trophy Lord's Stadium. In fact, I built a city in which I built a stadium, and it's a floodlit tournament, so I have put all my electrical connections, everything. I brought 40,000 people inside. I am also sitting there. I am also seeing myself sitting there. Look at here, and there are two Mahadevans now. Mahadevan is observing Mahadevan getting chased by a dog. I mean, it's getting very complex now. Right? Now, who created all these? You are the creator. You are the biggest creator in life. Please understand, Brahman, Imman and all religious angle. Each one of us, that's why we use, we are aware of it. How do you say? You say, this is my world view. That means you created a world now. We use this word in English, no? This is not my world view. That means you have a world now. You have created a world. Acharya says, you are the sole creator of your world. Nobody else in the world. For which he takes the dreaming process and explains that you are capable of creating anything. Where is sun? Sun exists only as long as I see. If I am dead, sun is not there because I can't see. Sun is only because of me. I am not because of sun. Please understand. Sun is because of me. I saw. If I don't see, there is no sun. I am the creator of the sun also. I am the creator of the RV College auditorium now. If I don't create, this is not there. If I fall unconscious, where is the auditorium? Nothing. So we are all the creators. Every one of us is a creator. I want you to first own this idea. Acharya brings that as the first shloka. Anyway, dreaming process is a very complex process. It's a projection from me. I create another world. I have all the samagri to create whatever world I want. I don't have to go beg, borrow, no loans, nothing. No housing loan, nothing. I can build a house, palatial house in my dream. Nobody can even, I don't ask anybody's permission for it. I can rival Mukesh Ambani and put 41 floor also. That's also possible. Okay? The waker becomes a product in the dream world. I am the waker, but I become a product in the dream world. And I am observing that also. There are two personalities now running, which makes the job quite complex. And the question is, who am I? It's a function of how do you associate. As long as you are in the dream, you are that person who is being chased by the dog. Moment you stepped out of the dream, you are not that person, you are somebody else. We have a very complex mechanism to create what we want in life. Please understand. Don't disown. We are our own creators. The world is created entirely by me and not even an iota by anybody. Brahman and all is not coming in the equation at all. Brahman only created me, the rest are all mine. I only created the rest. So, for everything that you talk about Brahman, I will talk about the waker, and exactly parallel. If you say Brahman projects itself out, projects the world out of itself, I will project the world out of myself. That's what I did in dream. I projected a world out of myself, which had the test match and dogs and etc. etc. Right? If Brahman creates and enters into it, I am also creating and entering into it. For every item on the right side, I have put one item on the left side. We are as good as Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. We are no way lesser than a Brahman. By dream, we have demonstrated that I can create the world. That is the first shloka in Daksināmurty. So what does he say? Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyan atmani mayaya bahiriva udbhutam yatha nidraya. That nidra is coming there. Okay? Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanameva dvayam Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaitam Sri Daksināmurty. The last line is only an add-on. That is why it's called Daksināmurty Stotram. The first three lines are psychology. The last line is an add-on to call it as a Daksināmurty Stotram. Every line will end like that. So what is he saying? Vishwam Darpana. The world is a mirror. You are only seeing yourself in the world. Drishyamana nagari tulyam nija antargatam. What is inside will only come out. See, there are some primary school teachers. Absolutely high grade punishment to that 4-year-old, 5-year-old. Because that's how they are. You can only do what you are. You cannot do anything other than what you are. If you are good to people, that means you are good. If you are cruel to people, that means you are cruel. If you are cheating people, that means you are a cheater. That's what Acharya is saying. The world is only a mirror here. You will only show yourself there. Mirror ke, if I go and stand in front of a mirror, I cannot see your image. I can only see my image. I will only see myself in the world. That's what he is saying. Right? Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nija antargatam. This is what is inside only is coming out. Okay? Pashyan Atmani Mayaya. So out of this Maya we are seeing everything outside, we think they are all different. It's only the mirror. What I am only I am seeing. It is my lens. I am the creator. I have created the world. You cannot create my world. I will create my world. You create your world. Good luck. Your world is different from my world. That's why both of us don't agree on anything. Because your world is different from my world. Yatha nidraya yaha sakshat kurute. So in just like you create your own world in sleep, in the dreaming process, outside the waking state is also no different. In dream I am using so that you understand the concept. Same thing happens when you are woken up also. Same thing. You are only projecting yourself outside in the world and then you imagine things and etc. etc. So the first thing that we need to understand is I am the creator. So if there is something wrong, we don't have to show fingers anywhere. I only created it. I am the architect of my every experience that I go through in this world. I am the architect. I don't need a second person or a third person. All those are not a good understanding of what it is. He says, that's what he says. Prabodase swatmanameva advayam. The two merges. Finally, that waker and woker, everything is gone. One person has come. There are two Mahadevans which became one Mahadevan after you woke up. That's how it is. So we create our world of experiences. We own it. We are responsible for it. You don't have to ask anybody. We don't have to complain to anyone. We take charge. That's the message that one can get. Okay. Now let's move to the second. So the second he talks about our life journey. So the best thing is to ask where from this tree came. If I were to ask you where from this banyan tree came. Any idea? Yeah, from where the root came from. Finally it came from a seed. It has to germinate only from a seed. Now the question is, where did the seed come from? Recursive problem. This is a backward recursion, as we can call it, right? Because this tree came from that seed came from that tree came from the other seed came from the other tree. We can go on like that. So Acharya uses that and explains a very crucial element of Sanatan Dharma. It is only in this country death is a comma, not a full stop. Please understand, death is just a comma. If this tree is gone, the tree is not gone. It has shed the seeds and gone. The tree will come again in some other form. It will come again. Nobody can actually perish. Whereas the Semitic religions talk of one religion, one birth. One Janma. Indians live like that today. Every Indian, however religious he is, deep in his consciousness, he thinks there is only one life. That's why this tension and this competition, you don't have to have any competition. If you have one Janma, you have to compete here. If there are 1,000 Janmas, what is your problem? Do what you like. Be dharmic, do what you like, keep going. You are anyway going to come back again. That faith has gone. People are religious, but they don't know because we are all educated in a different way. You go to a jatre, village jatre. Ali obbunu ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಜಾತ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡುವಾಗ this fellow will come and put one big bed sheet. ಒಂದು ಸೋಪ್ ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಒಂದು ಮಿರರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು they will say one ring 10 rupees. 3 ring, 30 rupees. To get a soap, you need 3 chances. To perfect yourself, 1 chance for you. Come on here, come on. It's illogical. I will not agree. To get a soap, you try 3 times. ಕೆಲವು ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ almost we touch it, so we get another 30 rupees. 6 times. To get a soap, you need 6 chances. But to perfect this individual may have its own limitations. To perfect this individual, you are giving me 1 chance. Give me a break. I will not agree that single Janma business. It's illogical. Our entire Sanatana Dharma believes in what is called reincarnation and karma. It's a very scientific, logical system. As you sow, you will reap. Nobody is coming in between. That's the system. Whereas in the other system, you do whatever you want to do. There's a judgment day which arrives, and then 2 gates are there. They open this gate, ask you to go here. Maybe hell. They open this gate, they ask you to go here. It is heaven. I mean, to me, it is very unappealing. Then I will have to smart out the system. Here, smarting, eating and all, you are digging your own grave. Don't try to live a very smart life. You are digging your grave, I am telling you. Lead a dharmic life. Your path forward is very, very safe. That is Sanatana Dharma. That is what believe. So I want our students to know that no hurry here. Do the best things that you like in your life. Be dharmic. Nothing will happen. If you die, it doesn't mean you are gone. You will come back. It's just one show is over. Another show is going to start. Just like the tree went away and another tree came. This idea he wants to bring. It will take a lot of tension from our mind. Today we are all living one Janma. Whatever religious you are, however religious you are, you may do whatever you may do. This is deep in your DNA. That's why so much of competition, so much of outpacing somebody, beating somebody, telling lies, doing this, doing that. All that your karma account will just keep on adding. In fact, our scriptures talk very vividly about it. I am not getting there. That's what he says. Bijasyanta rivankuro jagadidam praknirvikalpam punah maya kalpita deshakala kalana vaichitra chitri kritam maya viva vijrumbhyatyapi mahayogiva yasvechaya. That person who understands these are all mayajal. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaitam Sri Daksināmurty. He is indeed Daksināmurty. My salutations to him. Who is that person? Bijasya antaha iva ankuraha. The ankura is inside the bija. Inside the tree is actually resident in that seed. Right? Bijasyanta rivankuro jagadidam. So this entire universe is all like that. Prag nirvikalpam punah. Just because it isn't there, it doesn't mean it isn't there. See, today scientists are actually worried about what is called cosmology or cosmogeny. They do, black, this Big Bang theory, black hole and all that. You don't have to go all that. There is a beautiful sukta called Nasada Sid Nom Tada Asid Sada Sid Nasid Narejo Vyo Oma Paroyat. There is one sukta called Nasadiya Sukta in Rigveda. It talks about the origin of universe. It actually brings that universe cannot be created out of nothing. That will violate law of conservation of energy. That's why they are using black hole and infinite thermodynamical sink kind of variables and all that. That's all Mayajal. It's only manifestation and unmanifestation. That's what he says. Prag nirvikalpam punah maya kalpita desha kala kalana. This whole manifestation will come and go here. Please understand. Why are you jumping in between? In between is a one-day show and you are making so much noise. There are 1,000 days to go. On a one-day show you are making so much noise. That's like understanding like a kindergarten child. Life understanding like a kindergarten child. He says no. We are on a work in progress. Instead of 3 rings, we'll get 30,000 rings to perfect ourselves instead of soapbox. We can get 30,000 rings if you wish. 30,000 times we can come back and then clean up and become absolutely the perfect person, liberate and go. That is the model. So he says, Mayavi iva. That person who comes like a Mayavi. Vijrumbhyati yatyapi Mahayogi va yasvechaya. He is indeed a Mahayogi. He comes like as though a Mayavi. He knows that he is in the work in progress. He has come any number of times. He will come and go. He says, Tasmai Shri Gurumurte Namaitam. Person who has understood that is indeed the Guru Tattva. My salutations to him. So the important message here I want to give my students is, don't get tensed up about your life. Life is a very long journey, don't worry, nothing will happen. Focus on good things, enjoy and do the right things, be dharmic and go, finished. It's all, continuous train, it will keep going. Why are you bothered? Why are we not able to, get this viewpoint for us? So that is what it is. Okay, I will move to the third idea. Here is a very beautiful photo here, you see. There's a bottle. Although Shankaracharya talks about a pot, but I have used a bottle. And there are holes in the bottle. Imagine there are 5 holes. Let us just take 5 holes. One hole is round, another hole is square, third hole is a star, fourth is something something. If you put a light inside, then what will happen is you will see only those images here on the room, no? Because the light radiates out of it and creates these kinds of images. That's all is possible, no? So the point Acharya is making is everything that we do in our life, learning, teaching, grasping, doing, name anything, this all happens because there is a light in you. Just like this light is spreading out, Acharya says there is a light in you which is actually spreading out. How does it spread out? It spreads out through what is called Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas. Jnanendriyas are those organs from which you may be a Nobel laureate, but your knowledge can come through only 5 sources. You should see, you should hear, you should smell, you should feel. That's all. There is no other way you can get any knowledge. There is no other way. Tell me another way to get knowledge. There are only 5 Jnanendriyas. Your source of knowledge leading you even to a Nobel Prize has to come only through these 5 conduits. Similarly, there are only 5 Karmendriyas. Your upper limbs, your lower limbs, your tongue is a Karmendriya. Because we run our grinder at least 3-4 hours a day. Some people run the grinder very often, but anyway, you keep on chewing and eating, no? So that is also a Karmendriya, right? And then the respiratory organs, the reproductive organs and the anus. These are the karma. Whatever your karma is only through these 5. So now Acharya says that who are you? You are nothing but a source of light. If the light goes off, finished. That's why a person who likes a sweet halwa, you bring the halwa in front of him, eyes wide open, he smiles. Because the light is now flowing out, na? Right? If the fellow is dead, you bring the halwa, nothing happens. Halwa will become stale, nothing will happen. There is a light. We are nothing but a bundle of source of light. This is the idea you want. Who are you? I am nothing but a source of light. Without this light, so there is Shankaracharya's shortest composition is 1 shloka. It's called Ekashloki. This idea you beautifully brought it. I will show you that. So one fellow went to Acharya while he was walking. Said, "Sir, I want to know who am I." Oh, okay. You want to know who are you? He composed 1 shloka and finished. Kim Jyotistava. He asked that person, "What is your source of light?" He asked the other person who asked him, "Please tell me who I am." Acharya asked, "Kim Jyotistava." Then this fellow replied, what did he say? "Banuman Ahani." Sir, daytime my source of light is sun. Because modern science says you can see only when light is thrown on objects. The only source of light is only sun. All these are derived, electricity is a derived source only from sun. Take sun, electricity will go. So electricity is a derived source from sun. So he said, "Banuman Ahani." Oh, daytime my source of light is sun. Okay. Ratro? Then he asked, okay, how about night? That's the next question Acharya asked. He said, "Pradipadikam." He said, oh, in the night it is all moon, hurricane lamp, deepa, etc., etc. These are my source of light. That's what he said. Then he said, "Syadevam," let it be so. Okay? You have now covered half the ground. You are coming to where I want you to take. "Syadevam. Ravi Deepa Darshana Vidau." How do you see this sun, this moon, this light, this hurricane lamp? How do you see? Because science says you need light to see. Even to see sun, you need light. There is no light, you cannot see sun. So how did you see? You said these are your objects of light. How do you know them? Then he said, Ravi Deepa Darshanavido Kim Jyoti Akhyahime, please tell me, what is your source of light to see sun, moon, etc., etc.? He said, Chakshuhu. Oh, that you are asking. My source of light is my eye. I am able to see through my eye. There is light here. Chakshuhu. Then Acharya caught him. Oh, is it so? Tasya Nimilanadi Samaye? You close your eyes and you have a test match in your dream here. And floodlit test match. So much light is there. And there is a dog you are able to see. It is running. You are sweat on your forehead. So when you close your eye, where is your source of light? Because science tells me without a source of light you cannot see. So he says, Nimilanadi Samaye Kim. Then this fellow said, Dihi. Sir, oh, that you are asking. My buddhi, sir. My buddhi is a source of light. That fellow got into a trap. How did you see your buddhi now? Because you need some light to see your buddhi. Otherwise you can't recognize buddhi. Science tells without some object falling on it, you cannot. Diyoho darshane kim. You said buddhi. Now tell me, how did you find buddhi? There must be some source of light for you. Then he said, Tatra aham, Tatra aham. Oh, I am the source of light. Because this fellow didn't know what to do. Finally, he has to, please understand, that's what it is. Finally, we are all nothing but a source of light. We are nothing but an infinite source of abundant light. If we know it, you can take all your psychological counselors. In IIM Bangalore, we have 6 psychological counselors for the students. And I tell my students, the day you have been admitted here, you are in the top 0.1 percentile of this country. And you fellows are having psychological problem. There is something wrong with you guys here. You are in the top 0.1% of this country, I tell my students. And you have psychological problem. And we need to put 6 counselors. What nonsense is going on? Because we have not recognized who we are. We are nothing but abundant source of light. The more you radiate the light, you go places. We camouflage it, cover it, and then sulk, and then go to a psychological counselor. So he says, Acharya brings all these ideas in his shloka. Nana chitra gadodarastita mahadipa prabhabaswaram jnanam yasyatu chakshuradikarana dwara bahihi spandate. Okay? Janamiti tameva bantam anubhati etat samastam jagati. The whole world I am able to know. Janami. I know the whole world. How? Through chakshuradi-karanam. Chakshuhu adi. Adi is etal. Chakshu is eye. Eye etal. Means ear, eye, etc. All jnanendriyas. Okay? He says, Nana chidra. Chidra is pierced, hole. Nana chidra, gata. Gata is a part. Udara is the belly. Nana chitra, gata, udara, stita, mahadeepa. You place, Acharya is saying, please place a big lamp in a pot which is pierced with several holes. This is what he is explaining. Put a lamp there, the light will radiate out of it. In the same way, jnanam yasyatu chakshuradi karana dwara, through all these instruments, these are the holes through which light is escaping, through eye, etc., etc. And he gets his knowledge, jnanam. Then he says, Janamiti. Oh, I know how all these happens. Right? Tameva bantam anubhati. There is one primordial source of light. We all follow that source of light. A person who understood that, he is a guru. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaitam Sri Daksināmurty. So I want to tell my students, you have no business to sulk. You are some 10 million watts bulb here. You are an infinite source of light. Take charge of the Hanuman in you. You have to say like that, no? Today's students are all very fickle. For the slightest thing, they get very upset, etc. Parents also are not doing any of these. That's the problem. So these guys have no idea what to do. They have completely forgotten what they are, and then they have brought them to the lowest common denominator. That's not life. Acharya says you are nothing but a bundle of light here. All your knowledge is, you have to polish your pot and radiate the light. Then you become top notch. Go on, there are other things, not worry. That's what he is bringing through this shloka. Person who understands it is Daksināmurty. So recently we had a total beautiful lunar actually. I really enjoyed seeing it. Usually there were some clouds, then everything got cleared actually. Very beautiful. After a long time I saw. So in this eclipse, what happens is it's completely blocked. So if you bring a 2-year-old child, let's say there is a solar is a lot more easier to explain. Let us say there was a 1 hour solar eclipse. Normally it is a few minutes. We'll just take it 1 hour solar eclipse. That means it will be like night, absolutely night. If you bring a child and ask what happened to sun, so a child says, sun to khatam mar gaya. Sun is not there, gone. The fact of the matter is the sun is hidden by some object. That's the eclipse. Sun is eclipsed. After a while the sun comes out. The white moon becomes a blood moon and the slightly yellow moon, etc., etc. So just because I am not able to see the sun, if I come to a conclusion sun does not exist, that is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. More than nonsense, it is absolute ignorance. In the same way, we have to ask, who am I? A very favorite example again is there was, it's my family circle, I saw it. 91-year-old man. He brought a 3-year-old photo and showed it his great-grandson who was 3 years. He said, can you tell me who this is? This boy didn't know. He said, this is me. There was nothing between the two. The 91-year-old and the 3-year photo, there is nothing common. It is his photo only. So, in 87, 88 years, every damn thing has changed about him. Yet, he will assert himself as I very strongly. If you want to know your sense of I, take a small needle, bell pin, touch the tip of your toe, you know your I. Because I is called aham spurti. We are all fully packed with I-ness. That feeling of I-ness is very strong in us, na? Right? But that I keeps on changing. The only unchanging, again, this is a scientific, what a science says, you can see a change only when you are on a fixed platform. So I am in a train. I put down all the shutters. Train is going at 60 kilometers per hour. I have no idea. Moment you open the shutter, trees start running at 60 kilometers back me. Therefore I am now running. In the same way, there is an invariant in every one of us. Everything else has changed. I met an IAS officer. He said, sir, everything is gone for me, including my ego. I am a temple committee president now. He was a very powerful IAS. He said, sir, I am a temple committee president now. I have lost everything. Meaning, lost in the sense, everything is gone. My power is gone, my position is gone, my standing is gone. Today I am doing some seva. My ego is also cut enough. Very nicely he was telling me, everything will change in us. And since everything is changing in us, science tells us there is an unchanging platform from which we are seeing all that. Otherwise this change will not be visible. So Acharya wants to bring that concept now. He says, you are a person who never change. Everything else will change in you on the surface. Because you are detecting all those changes, you are not changing. That is why you are detecting. Otherwise you would have never detected. If you also changed along with them, no. Right? So that is what he is bringing. So he talks about 3 states. Avastha, Jagrat, waking state, Swapna and Sushupti, deep sleep. Sir, every one of us, as you know, 3 hours, 4 hours, we have to have a sound sleep. Sound sleep means make a lot of sound, I will not get up. That is the definition of sound sleep. That is the reason, that is why it is sound sleep. You make any amount of sound, I will not get up. That is sound sleep. Now, what happens in sound sleep? I want to show you a table which will bring it very nicely. In waking state, my karmendriyas are working, my jnanendriyas are working, my buddhi, chitta, ahankar, manas, everything is working in waking state. In dreaming state, I have shut down my karmendriya and jnanendriya because I am sleeping, no? Still, the karmendriya and jnanendriya are working through manas. Manas has taken over. Whereas in Shushupti, we are all dull and dead. Jada padartha. Nothing happens. I can do anything with you. I can throw a snake on you, I can do anything on you, you will be sleeping. Why? Karmendriya is shut down, Jnanendriya is shut down, Buddhi is shut down, Chitta is shut down, Ahankara is shut down, ego, manas, switched off. Which is like more or less dead. Yet we all do something very atrocious. You know what we do? Next day, morning we get up and say, I had a good sleep. My question is, where were you? How dare you say I had a good sleep? You were nothing. Yesterday I tried. Nothing. I made all kinds of noise, threw everything at you. You didn't even shake. Now you had the audacity to get up and then I had a good sleep. Acharya brings that example. He says, you are beyond all these. You are beyond body. You are beyond mind. You are beyond chitta, buddhi, ahankar, etc., etc. Because you threw all of them, yet you got up and said, I had a good sleep. That I was not changing. I remained forever. Focus on that I, lot of problems will melt. That's the point he is coming to. Okay? Rahu-grasta divakarendu sadrishaha. Just like Rahu catches the Divakara and the Indu, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, eclipses, no? Catches. In our Sampradaya we use the term like that. Rahu-grasta divakarendu sadrishaha maya samachadanat sanmatra karana upasamharana. All our karanas have become upasamharana, dead. Switched off. Upasamharana means switch off. All our organs are all switched off, including buddhi, chitta, ahankara, manas, etc., etc. When? Sushupti. Upasamharanato yobu sushuptapumana. He is in deep sleep. But you know what this fellow did? Prag means before. Aswaptam. Aswaptam means past tense. I slept. Oh, I had a good sleep. You can say I had a good sleep only in past tense. If you are saying I am having a good sleep, you are bluffing. You are woken up already. You can never say in present continuous. You can only say in past tense. Prag aswaptam iti prabodha samaye. After you got up, oh, you know, I had a very good sleep. Where were you here? Please tell me, where were you? I want each one of us to ask that question. Every day we make this statement. You had to ask, where were I? Everything was gone. You had the audacity to say, I was sleeping. Go and search that fellow. If you search that fellow, lot of your problems will melt. Because we are all shooting at the wrong targets. That's what it is. We are shooting at wrong targets. That's why life is becoming very complex. If you shoot at the right target, you will win the match and go. So, yaha pratyabhijna. This pratyabhijna means this consciousness returns back. Pratyabhijna means the return of the consciousness. In today's consciousness studies, they are studying Daksināmurty Stotram for this reason. Because these ideas are very interesting here. The pratyabhijna concept, consciousness studies, they want to understand what it is. Because how does the consciousness get lost and come back? That's the question. It got lost in between and then it came back. For a person who knows all these, Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaitam Sri, he is the Guru. He is the Guru Tattva. He is Daksināmurty. So I pay my prayers to him. That's how this shloka is coming. This is shloka 6. Another sometime, it's okay. Okay, so I just brought our coolie here. Our latest Rajini movie. For students, I have to bring all these. They really like it. Otherwise, they will sleep. Now all will get up and sit down. So, we see a movie, and after the movie is over, suddenly on white screen comes the end. Until then, we never saw the white screen. And suddenly from nowhere, the white screen came. Then only they switched on the lights also anyways. So the question that naturally that comes is, in the movie, in fact, one of my friends told me, he told me, sir, if you tell me the number of violent incidents in Coolie, I'll give you an Oscar. He said, there is so much there. Anyway, I said, I haven't seen the movie anyway. That's okay. So the point is, there is a fight. And there's a big fight which has erupted from the Kathanayaka, or Rajini, superstar Rajinikanth and somebody. The white screen will not burn. And there is a big rain. The white screen never will become wet. There's a flood. The white screen will not become wet, or it will not get damaged. Or there is a big hurricane and a dusty wind, Andhi, in Delhi and all that. White screen never get dusty. I want you to understand that all your life experiences, what is a movie? Movie is a stream of experiences. All the life experiences that every one of us go through is because of a white screen behind that. If you remove the white screen, we cannot see Rajinikanth. Nothing you will see. You need a substratum called white screen on which you have to throw light, then the movie opens up. That's why at the end, the white screen appears, everything stops. So Acharya actually brings this idea. I brought Cooley to bring it the same idea in a different way, right? Or so the question is, what is the white screen in the movie of our life? Our life is a movie at the end of the day. Enjoy the movie. But then, while enjoying the movie is one part, whether comedy or tragedy is a different story. But then the question is, how did the movie open up? That's a more important question. Let's come about the story later. How did the movie manifest? That means, can you ask what is the white screen? What is the white screen for us? So that our life is going and we are seeing so many events day by day. Right? Or look at this photo. Tendulkar at different stages. All of them are still Tendulkar only. If we tomorrow at 90 years we take a photo in which he has a stick and come, you will also call him Tendulkar only. Because there is a white screen behind all that. These are all movies coming at the front, popping up at the front. There is something behind. And that is a white screen. Right? So that is called avastha. Avastha means a state. In thermodynamics we say a state, no? In electronics also we use the word state variable. A state is a certain condition, fitting a certain variables and certain conditions, right? We all have avastha. So many avasthas in our life. One is called, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti is one type of avastha. Or, Balyam, Kaumaram, Vardakam, youth, old man, young, Yauvana, etc. That is another avastha. We go through, that is another part of avastha. Or, Sukha, Dukkha is another avastha. The Varnashrama is another avastha. And the person has nothing. These are all latched on the top of him. These are all added on the top of that white screen. The Varna and the Ashrama, all those are only avasthas. They are not what you are. And people have taken everything wrong today and messed up this society completely. I talk in great detail about Varnashrama. The day we gave up our Varnashrama, thanks to Macaulay's education, we started falling down. Varnashrama is extremely important in this country. There has been miscommunicated and managed in a particular way. We just perished. We have become coolies now. We have now become intellectual coolies. We have to Dallas U20 list. You have to print now, publish. If you don't publish in U20 Dallas in IIM Bangalore, you don't get your promotion. Right? And you have your own ABDC and etc. etc. We are all intellectual coolies because we have not taken charge for ourselves and done things very seriously and so on. Anyway, so there are different types of avasthas are there. So that's what he says. Balyadishwapi, Balyadi, etc. 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 Jagradadi, etc. Jagrada, Swapna, Sushupti, etc. etc. Different states, no? Balyadishwapi, Jagradadishu tata sarvasu avasthaswapi. In all these seemingly different manifestation of the same person. Right? Vyavritta Sanuvartamanam. There is something which is following like a shadow. Anuvartamanam. Wherever I go, my shadow will come. So whatever I change my shape, my age, my this, my that, there is something which is coming behind me. Aham iti antaspurandam sada. It is popping up. I. That I-ness is inside. Outside so many things have changed. I have become 60 years old, I have become 70 years old, I have retired as a professor, this, that, all that happens. I-ness has not changed. Okay? Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam. He shows his true nature. That I is your true nature. And one who knows that, yo mudraya bhadraya, with this mudra he is showing that. This mudra says you have to turn your attention inside. You have to turn your attention inside. That's why this mudra actually. This finger, coming in, is pointing that you have to turn your attention, inside. So one who shows with his mudra tells us, look at your core existence. You will find a lot of answers to a lot of problems and questions that you have in your life. That's what he is saying. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaitam Sri Daksināmurtaye. I will 10 shlokas, I took 4 or 5. I just wanted to sprinkle a little bit. Every shloka is good. I just took only 4 or 5 for want of time. So, in conclusion, then students, I want to tell students, what do I do with it? Sir, I think some of the ideas that you are saying is interesting, but then what do I do now? That is also written in the shloka only now. It is also part of the shloka now. The 10th shloka, he says, Sarvatmatvam sputi kritam itam yasmat amushmin stave. I have shown you that all pervading nature of you that has been established through these arguments that I have, tena asya, how do I internalize this concept? I mean, it's good to read once, but then I want to really internalize. He says, he gives 4 ideas. Shravana, Tata, Artha, Mananat, Dhyanascha, Sankirtanat. He says there are 4 ways in which you can meditate on it. Manana can be done. Shravana, hear it repeatedly. Artha Mananat, try to understand the meaning of it. Dhyana, do a contemplation on some concept which appeals to you, do a dhyana on that. Idea gets much clearer to you. Or Sankirtanat. In a very satsang you can recite these. There are very beautiful slokas to recite also. Sarvatmatva Mahavibhuti Sahitam Syat Ishwaratvam. You will get lordship. You will gain control of yourself. The problem is we don't have control of ourselves. We are completely given up. You laugh at me, I have to get upset. You both have to comment at me, you have to upset. Here, why should I get upset? I don't understand. If you comment badly about me, you should get upset, not me. But everything is ulta now. See how weak we are. Psychologically we are very weak. These shlokas will bring that to us. You do whatever you want to do. I have a way to go, I have my path, I will go, get lost. Very few people are like that. They have understood Daksināmurty Stotram actually. They have internalized it very well. Siddhaye tat punarashtada paridam cha aishwaryam avyahatam is what he says. So he says Shravana, Artha Manana, Dhyana and Sankirtana. These are the 4 methods by which you can sort of internalize the concept. That also he has built into the shloka as the last shloka that you have. So what I am going to do, so this is what it is. I keep saying this. If people have to self-transform, you have to understand oneself. This shloka talks about how do you understand who you are. All these, I am so and so, passport and all nonsense. They are not what you are. Showing your visiting card, passport are all very sada sida things. Don't get carried away by that. That will only bring more and more misery to you. You have to understand your core kernel of what you are. If you understand yourself, if you know manage oneself, you know how to self-inspire, then you can inspire others. Because Vishwam is Darpana. If you are inspiring, you will inspire. If you are not inspiring, you cannot inspire anybody, whatever you try. You will only sulk them even more. That's what it is. So everything starts here, and that is called the world within. This stotra talks about the world within. Every one of us have a unique world within. Then one can go out and deliver in the outside world. You can inspire others. If you can't inspire, who are going to inspire? If you cannot be happy, I don't know whom you can make happy. All these are nonsense. You can't put up a show and all the people make it out in no time. They will not tell you, but they make it out. So if you want to inspire, lead and deliver, you do your job first. You get inspired. You lead yourself, you deliver to yourself, then we'll talk about others. That's what it is. This is world outside. The Western ideas are very good here. Western ideas are zero here. This is where ancient Indian knowledge system comes. Westerners have absolutely no idea on this, I am telling you. But they are very good in this. They are very good in boxes and arrows and dabbas, which is what we teach anyway. These are all outside of us. Not anything to do with inside. You can't put it boxes and arrows. There is no place for boxes and arrows there. Not your PowerPoint will also work there. Although I am using a PowerPoint. Anyway, so I will quickly recite. Is that okay? Can I recite this shloka? Maybe whoever wants to join, please join with me. I will recite and you can follow. It will be very nice to recite this. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya Bhagirivodbhutam yata nidraya Yes sakshat kurute prabodha samaye Swatmanameva dvayam Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Daksināmurtaye Bijasyantarivankuro Jagadidam Prangnir Vikalpam Punaha మాయా కల్పిత దేశ కాల కలనా వైచిత్ర్య చిత్రీకృతం మాయావీవ విజృంభ్యత్యపి మహాయోగీ వయస్వేచ్ఛయా తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే యస్యైవ స్ఫురణం సదాత్మకం అసత్కల్పార్థకం భాసతే సాక్షాత్ తత్వమసీతి వేదవచసా యో బోధయత్యాశ్రితాన్ యస్ సాక్షాత్ కరణాద్ భవేత్ న పునరావృత్తిర్భవాంభోనిదౌ. తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే నానాచిత్రగడోదరస్థిత మహాదీప ప్రభాభాస్వరం జ్ఞానం యస్య తు చక్షురాదికరణ ద్వారా బహిస్పందతే జానామీతి తమేవ భాంతం అనుబాత్ ఏతత్ సమస్తం జగత్. తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే దేహం ప్రాణమపీంద్రియాణ్యపి చలాం బుద్ధిం చ శూన్యం విదుః. స్త్రీబాలాంత జడోపమాస్త్వం అహమితి భ్రాంతా భృశంవాదినః. మాయాశక్తి విలాసకల్పితం మహావ్యోమోహ సంహారిణే. తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే రాహుగ్రస్త దివాకరేందు సదృశో మాయా సమాచ్ఛాదనాత్ సన్మాత్రకరణోపసంహరణతో యో భూత్ సుషుప్త పుమాన్ ప్రాగస్వాప్సమితి ప్రబోధ సమయే యప్రత్యభిజ్ఞాయతే. తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే బాల్యాదిష్వపి జాగ్రదాదిషు తథా సర్వాస్వవస్థాస్వపి వ్యావృత్తాస్వనువర్తమానం అహమిత్యంతఃస్ఫురందం సదా స్వాత్మానం ప్రకటీకరోతి భజతాం యో ముద్రయా భద్రయా. తస్మై శ్రీ గురుమూర్తయే నమ ఇదం. శ్రీ దక్షిణామూర్తయే విశ్వం పశ్యతి కార్యకారణతయా స్వస్వామి సంబంధతః శిష్యాచార్యతయా తథైవ పితృపుత్రాద్యాత్మనా భేదతః Swapne jagrati va yayesha purusho Maya paribhramitaha Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Daksināmurtaye Bhurambamsya Analo Nilombara Maharnato Himamshuppuman Ityabhati Characharatmakamidam Yasyaiva Murtyashtakam Nanyat Kinchana Vidyate Vimrshatam Yasmat Parasmat Vibhoho Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Sri Daksināmurtaye Sarvatmattvamiti Sputikritamidam Yasmad Amushmin Stave Tenasya Shavanat Tadartha Mananat Dhyanacha Sankirtanat Sarvatmatva Mahavibhuti Sahitam Syadishwaratvam Swataha Siddhaye Tat Purarashtada Parinadam Chaishwaryam Avyahatam. Actually, I want to bring to your attention, there is this Vimrshatam in the third line. This is the culture of this country. Vimrsha means think. None of our acharyas will push anything down the throat. They will put some ideas on the table and say, you think. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, after 683 shlokas, there are 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. After 683 shlokas, you know what Krishna said finally to Arjuna? Vimrishya yatachasi tatakuru. I have told my views to you. You think about it, do what you want to do. This is our culture. So I also want to say the same thing. This is a great idea, but I leave it to you. You can think about it. If you think, you know, our students have lacking all these. They think all these are useless pieces, only for worshipping, etc. I mean, there are some, all these agenda for the last 100 years, 200 years, we have been completely brainwashed. Our acharyas have been thinking about Lokasangraha. And they are solving some serious problems. They want to address some very fundamental issues about our life, our existence. All Shankaracharya's work is like that. This is just a sample. It was very nice for you to take off time and come here. I feel blessed to also share my thoughts with you, and thank you for this opportunity.